Leadership and Self-Deception explains how self-deception clouds our vision, leading us to blame others rather than admitting our own faults and part in the problem. This habit of self-betrayal can keep us stuck in conflicts, hinder good personal relationships, and stop us from growing personally and leading successfully. This leadership book also shows us that we can break this destructive cycle of self-deception leadership by being more aware of ourselves and thinking about our actions. It starts by discussing how we sometimes fool ourselves without realizing it. It helps us see situations where we make up excuses for why we do things, even though we know the real reasons deep down. This can be a big problem because it can mess up how we communicate, trust others, and work with our teams. As we keep reading, we understand how self-deception affects our relationships. It's like wearing glasses that amplify our own virtues and make everyone else look like objects instead of real people with feelings and thoughts. This can cause fights and misunderstandings, making it hard for teams to focus and get along. The book introduces the concept of the box, which represents a mindset where we are self-deceived and see others as objects. When we are in the box, we are focused on our own needs, blame others for problems, and fail to take responsibility. The book provides illustrations and examples of how being in the box leads us to behave badly and creates a vicious cycle of workplace issues like ineffective leadership, poor communication, and strained relationships. It then offers strategies for getting out of the box, such as practicing self-awareness and recognizing when we are in the box, developing empathy and seeing others as people, not objects, taking responsibility for our part in problems rather than blaming others, focusing on shared goals and working collaboratively. Leaders can stop fooling themselves and build better relationships by having an inward mindset, being kind, understanding human beings, and respecting others. To break the cycle of self-deception, the book also gives tips on how to stop tricking ourselves. It says we should think deeply about why we do things, admit when we're wrong, and listen to what others say. This way, the author explains, we can grow and not keep making the same mistakes. When leaders are honest, apologize when they mess up, and make sure everyone keeps their promises, teams work better. This helps everyone trust each other and makes work more enjoyable. The book concludes with ideas on avoiding self-deception in real life. It shares stories and examples to make it easier to understand. Overall, it is a guidebook to being a successful leader and having better relationships with everyone around us. Key takeaways from Leadership and Self-Deception by the Arbinger Institute. The book aims to provide readers with the following important lessons. 1. Recognize your biases and blind spots. Acknowledge and confront biases and blind spots that contribute to self-deception. Take proactive steps to identify areas where your perceptions may be distorted, such as assuming negative intentions from others or justifying your actions without considering their impact. Engage in regular self-reflection and seek feedback from trusted peers or mentors to gain insights into your blind spots. 2. Cultivate empathy and understanding. Develop empathy by actively listening to others, considering their perspectives, and acknowledging their emotions and experiences. Avoid objectifying people or viewing them solely through how they can serve your goals. Instead, strive to understand each person and their motivations, needs, concerns, negative feelings, and aspirations, encouraging genuine connections and mutual respect. 3. Practice continuous self-awareness. Cultivate a habit of ongoing self-awareness by regularly examining your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. Pay attention to patterns of behavior that may indicate self-deception, such as defensiveness, blaming others, or avoiding accountability. Be open to feedback and constructive criticism, using these insights to improve your leadership strategies, approach, and decision-making. 4. Seek diverse perspectives and feedback. Actively seek feedback from multiple sources, including team members, peers, and stakeholders. Encourage open and honest communication within your team, creating a safe space for sharing ideas, concerns, and feedback. Embrace diverse viewpoints and use them as opportunities to challenge assumptions, broaden your understanding, and make more informed decisions. 5. Promote a culture of openness and accountability. Lead by example in cultivating a culture of openness, transparency, and accountability within your team or organization. Encourage honest dialogue, constructive conflict resolution, and a willingness to address challenges openly. Hold yourself and others accountable for commitments and actions, creating a culture of trust, reliability, and integrity. 6. Implement positive changes through action. Translate insights from self-reflection and feedback into concrete actions and behaviors. Take proactive steps to address communication breakdowns, resolve conflicts, and build stronger relationships within your team. Commit to personal development and organizational growth by continually learning, adapting, and improving your leadership effectiveness. 7. Embrace vulnerability and learning. Embrace vulnerability as a strength rather than a weakness, recognizing that growth often requires stepping outside your comfort zone and confronting difficult truths. Be open to learning from failures and setbacks, using them as opportunities for growth and resilience. Promote a culture of continuous learning, curiosity, and innovation within your team or organization. 8. Lead with integrity and authenticity. Lead with integrity by aligning your actions with your values, principles, and ethical standards. Be transparent and honest in your communications, decisions, and interactions with others. Build trust and credibility to motivate people by demonstrating consistency, fairness, and accountability in your leadership philosophy. I hope you enjoyed this bite-sized big idea. Let me know what you think in the comments. And remember, stay out of the box.